In a so-called free state, officials and stakeholders concoct solutions to problems often created by other bureaucrats and with little regard for infringements on the people. These stories are born at the apex of freedom and entrepreneurship. We foolishly advocate for the taxpayer. Brian's Beat presents Freedom Fools.
Ho, 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 ho. I've got that Christmas spirit because Santa's coming to town. At the end of the show, yes, and I am back, and a very good afternoon. Very cloudy afternoon. It's almost as if it's going to snow in the very near future. And, of course, that's what we are hearing. I know Sierra mentioned a little bit about it when she was on with Jose. But apparently we're going to get a little bit of snow sometime early tomorrow morning. I'm Brian. Welcome to Freedom Fools, one of three shows born at the apex of freedom, entrepreneurship, and nomadism. Today is the 13th of December. Might have been a lucky number back in 1636. You know why? Because on that date, the Massachusetts Bay Colony, which encompassed the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, or what became the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, plus Maine, because Maine wasn't a state at that time. No, none of these places were states, but Maine and Massachusetts made up the Massachusetts Bay Colony. And on this date in 1636, the Bay Colony formally organized militia regiments. Why? Apparently to respond to conflicts on the frontier. Now, I don't know if they're talking about the frontier of Worcester or Springfield or somewhere in deepest, darkest Maine, but 3 militia regiments were formulated, and the good old historians regard this as the founding of what would become the National Guard. All that on this date in 1636. 1946, an entirely different year, and we were fighting other battles at that particular time. The Brian Speak quote of the day: power concedes nothing without a demand. Power concedes nothing without a demand. Good old Frederick Douglass with that quote. Last week, I guess when I say last week, the week before last, we were talking, I believe, on a Tuesday, Wednesday night about something that President Trump had started known as the Trump account. Money that the Treasury was going to be putting into the bank accounts of many people, and then the Dell family would be contributing money to folks, $250 for folks over the age of 10, I believe. We're going to find out a little bit more about it. I reached out to Jose Matos at the request of one of our callers on that evening to see if Jose could break it down and talk to us about it. Jose, I'm glad to say, is here in studio. Actually, he didn't get out of his chair. That's one of the greatest things about being in studio with Jose. He's right here.
It's just like turning over and taking a nap again.
There you go. Hey, good afternoon. I'm excellent. How are you?
Thank you.
So thank you. I'm really glad that we're able to talk about this. I think the last time I had you in studio, we were talking about, I think it was during the Trump administration.
Probably.
Way back when.
Probably.
Something else that he had done. Trump account.
Yes.
Good, bad, and, just at the outset, good, bad, and different.
Anything that is going to put money in citizens' pockets is going to be good. Okay? Anything that you're able to glean from the government back again is going to be good.
Well, you say getting back again. These kids didn't put in, so they're not really getting anything back.
But their parents did.
Okay.
Okay, so if you get a little something, that's good. Okay. Supposedly, it's in the works. Okay, there's going to be potentially a $2,000 tariff refund. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That I haven't seen it yet. We keep hearing about it.
Yeah.
I've read about it. You're not going to get it if you earn over a certain amount of money. I believe it's $200,000, but I could be off. Okay, so not everybody's going to get it. But the Trump account has got nothing to do with income. So even millionaires or billionaires, if you had a child born between January 1st of 2025 and December 31st of 2028. So this is only going to be going on for the next 3 years. Well, 25, 26, 27, 28. 4 years, let's say. Okay. That $1,000 is seed money, and it's called the Trump account, right?
Named after whom?
He loves to put names,
yes,
his name
he
on
does.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so even after 2028, if the same administration doesn't put their whoever comes in puts his shoes on and continues, the next administration could stop it. Okay, but those accounts will still be active once they've been established, and it's still going to be named the Trump account. Okay,
so just to be clear,
yep.
Any next president or administration,
Yep.
they couldn't stop what this administration has done.
No, I don't believe in this case, because if you became president or if you walked into the White House, are you going to ask millions of people potentially for that $1,000 back?
No, I'm not going to, but that doesn't mean that some wise guy or gal
Could
won't.
try?
Yeah.
I tend to doubt that's going to happen.
Well,
They could stop future
look,
contributions.
Look what we're seeing right now, and that's why I bring it up, because anything can happen as we
that's true.
can see.
They could put in a tax that would make you pay it back.
Good point.
They
Good point.
could put a tax in that would make you pay it
I'm
back.
glad you said that, Jose. $1,000 coming from the Treasury.
Yep.
That's going to be pure $1,000. That's not money that's going to be taxed. So
Right.
it would really be $650 unearned
if it were
income.
taxed. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So does that mean when at age 18 or whenever you go to take that money
We're
out?
going to get to that because you asked me a question off air.
Yes.
And I had, again, assumptions. Okay. I had assumed one way, but then I read something and it's another way. So we're going to get to that.
Do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this is just an overview. And I've got another story to go with it afterwards. So to qualify, and the $2,000 tariff refund, I had said there was an income limit. I do not believe that there is an income limit for this $1,000 for the Trump account. So
Well, how could there be?
they could put limits on it. They put limit. Listen,
On a 4-year-old?
No. On the parents.
Oh, okay.
On the parents.
See, there.
Okay. So to qualify, and it's not 4, it's a newborn.
Right, that's what
Not
I
4.
Well, but you could be
Newborns.
up to 4 if you're on January 1st.
Born on. So we're going to get to that too.
Okay, I'm
So
missing
to
this.
qualify for the initial $1,000 Trump account deposit, a child must be a U.S. citizen, born between January 1st of 2025 and December 31st of 2028, and have a social security number. So any child coming out of the hospital nowadays, or I'm going to say almost every child that I know of anyway, coming out of the hospital, being a newborn, is already coming with a social security card.
Yep, stamped. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's say you were a child born in another country but of U.S. parents, you might not have the social security card until you come back. But they have to have a social security card when applying. So any child born after January 1st of 2025, and this is going to be done next tax season, because it's not being done yet, okay, then you could potentially be one, but it's supposed to be for newborns. So, a parent or guardian can open an account for a qualifying child. While any parent can open an account, only children born in the specified 2025 through 2028 window are eligible for the government's initial $1,000 deposit. So you could be right that if somebody didn't apply for it next year when they file and they think about it in 2027 or 28, that the child could be 2 or 3 or 4. So in that respect, you could actually be right.
Can I go Tarzan now? Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because, as you mentioned, you have to be a U.S. citizen.
Right.
Could have been born here.
Or
Maybe you
out.
weren't born here.
Right.
And then you naturalized during that time.
Right. Well, no, if you're born of American citizen parents, even out of the country, you are a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but some country might change that.
What country?
I don't know. That we see
the
what's
US.
we see what's
Well,
happening here.
That's
well,
a
that's
whole
what
other
I'm
topic.
getting at.
That's a whole other topic.
Who knows? It might be, but I'm just trying to look at everything.
Maybe you'd be a dual citizen because you were born in the other country.
Yeah, but you know
and
what?
American parents.
But they're even trying to get rid of dual citizenship here.
Yeah, somebody brought that up and said to me that it was President Trump that was trying to do that. It's not.
It's
a senator
Moreno.
Out
of Ohio.
Yes. And again, opinion from me. Opinion. Okay. As long as Trump is in office, I don't think that's going to fly because his wife and his son are dual citizens. So I don't think that'll fly. I could be wrong.
You know what? I think that since this guy has been a senator all of a couple of years.
Yeah. And with a name like Moreno,
yeah,
his descendancy is,
he
from
came,
another country.
He came from Colombia.
Okay.
And he was naturalized, and he thinks everybody should be a U.S. citizen or whatever the other country might be.
I was 5 when I came here.
Oh,
At 18, I went and raised my hand to become a naturalized citizen.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you give up your other
at
citizenship?
the time I did.
Okay.
But when I found out that I could then become dual citizen, which now is almost automatic. I don't think you have to give up your other country's citizenship. But I did at the time. I denounced my Portuguese citizenship at the time when I was 18. I would take up arms for this country.
Mm-hmm.
But believe it or not, even though I am a Portuguese citizen, this country has given me everything I have. I would still take up arms for this country. At my age, they probably wouldn't want me anymore.
Hey, listen, everybody contributes.
But it's resistance. Okay. So, eligibility for the $1,000 seed money. Citizenship, the child must be a U.S. citizen. Birth date, the child must have been born between January 1st of 25 and December 31st of 28. Social security number, the child must have one. Parental status, a parent can open an account regardless of their own immigration status.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
opening the account. Parents or guardians can open an account for a qualifying child. The account can be opened using a brand new IRS form, which is expected to be available in early 2026.
a brand new IRS form.
Yes, another form to fill out. And the IRS form is numbered 4547, which again, off air, I brought this subject up last week when I was on with Sierra. And it didn't click right away until I looked at it just now with you. 4547 is what?
The president, number 45, Donald Trump, the president,
The
number
first go-around.
45,
Yep.
47.
Yep. I thought that was a genius.
Well, I'm wondering if there really is an order like that.
Well, they can make these numbers up as they go along. The IRS does. But I
They
think
make
this
up
was,
everything else.
Right. But I think this was ingenious to
No,
put in the number 4547.
I would agree with that,
Yeah.
yes.
The government's $1,000 contribution can be requested at the time of opening the account using the same form. So this is $1,000 coming back from the Treasury to an account opened for your child. Additional information, funds.
Hold on, is this a special account? So in other words, it would not go into baby Joe's savings account
No,
at
no.
B of A or anything like that.
It's going to be segregated as a Trump
I thought
account.
segregation was against the law.
No, not in that case, not in the same sense. It's going to be separated.
Similar to
An UGMA,
well,
a 529.
okay,
Yeah.
yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
So what are the differences? A 529, so let's back up. 401ks, 403bs, 457s, those are not actually accounts. Those are the numbers referenced in the IRS guidelines for what type of retirement account you're setting up or having set up. So 401ks are for-profit companies, 403bs are for nonprofits, 457s are for governmental agencies. So same thing, 529 is not the actual account. It is the number specifying that this account is established for college planning for future. And it used to be just college. Now it's, so you open up an account for your child as a newborn, and then you want to start it up for private school K through 12, let's say. So before college, you can. But most people are still using it for college because most people's children are going to public education. Okay. So this, and that's separated, the 529 is separated from any other account because of its use in the future. Okay. So this Trump account is going to, I think anyway, going to be separated. Now, so if the numbers are not the account, where's the money invested? Well, you could open up a bank account as a 529, savings or money market or CD. You can open up securities, investments through an investment company, what I do, okay, and fund that account with the money that is now blanketed as a 529 versus just a regular savings or a regular investment account, okay?
Okay.
With a 529, if it's used for its specific purpose, there is no taxes on the gain or the principal that you put in. If it's not, then it can be taxed just the gain, regular income tax, and a 10% penalty. So the only way to avoid that tax would have been if you had another child, whether your own or somebody else, that you could change the beneficiary of the child to another child. 2 years ago. No, last year. And I think it started this year. Now, if the child's account has been open for 15 years, up to $35,000 of that money that was not used for school can now be transferred to a Roth for the future of that child. Okay?
And why would somebody want to do that?
To avoid paying the taxes and to give the child a step up for their future.
That's in the 529.
That's in the 529.
Okay.
Now,
but not in the
to-
4547.
Back to the Trump account. So originally, I thought that this was going to act like a Roth account. Okay. So additional information. Funds are generally inaccessible until the child turns 18, with few exceptions. Once a child turns 18, the account would operate under the rules similar to a traditional IRA.
Mm-hmm.
So a traditional IRA goes in as a pre-tax
Pre-taxed.
account.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take the money out, you are then taxed on the account, but there's also an additional 10% penalty.
Why?
It's to
At
make
18?
you think. No, let's say it was a traditional IRA. I'm
Okay.
going to do a comparison.
Okay, all right.
So if you're under 59 and a half and you have a traditional IRA and you take the money out, or even a traditional 401k,
Right, there's a
and you
penalty.
take the money out prior to 59 and a half, other than if and there are exceptions, you become disabled, your house is under foreclosure, you're under eviction, first-time home buyer, but only a certain amount. In those cases, and I don't have all of them in front of me, but in those cases, you can avoid, the Uncle Sam gives you a break on the penalty, not on the tax. But if you want to take money out of your IRA or 401k that is pre-tax, traditional, to buy a car, to put a roof on your house, to go on vacation, you're going to get whacked with the taxes
Yep.
and the 10% penalty. Because it's a retirement account. It's not a put and take account. It's not a savings account. So in this case, the Trump account is going to act like the traditional IRA, which means there will be taxes, and I haven't seen it yet. I have another something to go over, it could have a potential 10% penalty also at 18 or 20 or 21, whenever you decide you want to take the money out.
That is one of the main reasons why I wanted you to come in, because we were having this conversation last week.
Yep.
And I said, you know what? If that money is coming from the government and it's pre-taxed, down the road, you're going to get taxed on it. That sparked some conversation, and why not talk to the pro?
Thank you. So, shall I go on to the next one? Oh, no, actually, before that.
Yes.
So I have a copy of the 4547 form.
Oh, so it's out already?
Well, preliminary, it's out.
Okay.
They might still tweak it. Okay.
Now, the 4547 form
Yep.
is supposed to be for someone, in theory, between the ages of 0
Yep.
and 4.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So why did I saw the form just at a glance?
Yep.
It looks pretty complicated.
Because we're from the government. We're here to help.
Oh, God. All right.
So the Trump account elections, okay, and it gives you a place to put in two children. So you
On
could have
one
twins.
account?
On,
okay,
no,
yeah,
on
there you
one
go.
form.
Okay.
Okay. So Sierra the other day said, well, what if you have more than 2 children? What if you have like Irish twins, as they're called? Within the 12 months, you have 2. And well, you could have twins and then another one within 12 months. That could happen. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just get another form. So how many other children are born to you within that time frame? You set up as many accounts as you have children.
Well, I guess that makes sense anyway, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get 1,000
Right.
for each one.
Right. So it says, and the form itself says Trump account elections, and it is a 4547 form.
It
Okay.
is. Yep.
If you have a child that is eligible for a Trump account and you want to open a Trump account for that child, complete form 4547. For each child that is eligible and for whom you want to open a Trump account, complete parts 1, 2, and 4. For each child that is eligible to receive a $1,000 pilot program contribution, check the box in part 3, line 7, in order to receive the contribution, which I think is redundant. If you're filing the form and you know you're doing it, you shouldn't have to check off anything. But again, it's the IRS for you,
yeah.
right? So part 1, parent/guardian or other authorized individual. The parent, guardian, or other authorized individual listed in Part 1 will be the responsible party for the Trump account. Again, keep in mind the child is a is a minor.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like setting up an UGMA or UTMA, Uniform Gift to Minors, or Uniform Trust to Minors. That account is set up with the child being the owner and the parent, grandparent, guardian being the custodian. When that child turns 18, they can go in and raid the account, take all of the money out, bypass whoever set it up for them as the custodian, bypass me as the advisor if they're my client, and just go directly to the company, prove what the age they are by, birth certificate, and say, just close on my account and send me my money. And there isn't anything I or the parent or the guardian or whoever can do about it. Unlike a 529.
So why would a parent open up such an account?
Again, to give the child a step up.
But aren't there other accounts that they could open up where they can maybe keep a control?
I do that a lot for my clients. I will, when I'm sitting with a client, I will, if it's for children, minors, I will talk to them about a 529, about the UGMA, and then about setting up either an individual or joint account where either the parents or the grandparents or whoever's setting it up with them as the beneficiary in the future. But if it's a joint or individual account that the adult is setting up, the child can't touch the account because it's not theirs unless that parent or parents or grandparents or whoever set it up passes. Then it passes to them. It could be at 25, it could be at 30, it could be whenever. Okay, that way they still retain control. But it's still up to the client to make the choice. Is this money going to be earmarked for school or not? Is this, because if it's a joint account or an individual account and the child is going to go to school, but the account is in the parent, grandparent, or whoever set it up's name, they can take money out, pay the capital gains, and give it to the child for college purposes. It doesn't have to be a 529, but they still retain control. With a 529, the adult, whoever set up the account, is the owner. The child is the beneficiary. The child can't touch that money, even to go to school, until whoever set it up gives it to them. Okay.
Got you.
So, but again, in the cases, and recently I had a client come in. She wants to set up an account for each of her 3 grandchildren. One is 23 or 28. The other one is 20, and the other one is 17. So the 17 is a minor. The other 2 are adults. She wants to put in $5,000 into each of the child's names. I said, you understand that the older 2 and the other one in another year can go in and raid the account. She goes, well, I wouldn't want that to happen. So I said to her, well, why don't we make this an individual account with you as the owner, and then the children as beneficiaries? So when you pass, that's when they get the money. Is that okay with you? She goes, absolutely. So she retains control. So part 1, parent or guardian, first name, middle name, last name, social security number, address, apartment number, date of birth. This is the parent's info. City, town, or post office, county, state, zip code, phone number, foreign country name, because again, you don't have to be the parent or guardian a U.S. citizen. The child has to be. Foreign province, foreign postal code, and then email address. Part 2, child's information. If more than 2 children, see instructions. If more than 2 children, grab another form. That's the instructions, okay? 1A, first name. B, middle name. C, last name for the child. Social security number, line 2. Line 3, date of birth. Line 4, relationship. Child. Guardian could be foster child, Guardian could be grandchild, because the grandparents.
But we're talking about the kid right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. 5, home address. Check here if address is same. If it is, you don't have to fill out anything else. Otherwise, complete lines 5A through 5F. If you have a foreign address, complete lines 5G, 5H, and 5I. So, address.
I'm just going to stop you for a second. When you say it like that, it goes without saying that you can be a U.S. citizen living outside of the country, whether you're in the military or not.
Absolutely.
And so that would be the reason for all of that
Yep.
extra information there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5A, B, C, D, E, and F are all of the address here in the U.S. Okay? So number and street, apartment number, city, town, or post office, county, state, zip code. G, H, and I are foreign country name, foreign province, state, or county, foreign postal code. And then line 6, check here if you are authorized to open the Trump account for the child. Again, see instructions. Part 4, because I'm going to skip over part 3. Part 4, consent to disclose information. By completing this form, you authorize the IRS, Treasury, or their agents to create and maintain a Trump account with respect to the eligible child or children listed on this form. You also authorize the IRS, Treasury, or their agents to disclose the fact that a Trump account has been established for the eligible child or children listed above to any parent, guardian, or authorized individual of the eligible child who is permitted to make an election to request creation of the Trump account. Under that same Part 4, the taxpayer signs, so your signature, and date. And then whoever is preparing this for you. So if you're preparing it yourself, you put self-prepared. If you're having your accountant, enrolled agent, CPA, whoever it may be, then it's the printed name of the preparer's name, the preparer's signature, date, check of self-employed, their TIN number, and the firm's name and firm's address. Going back to Part 3, pilot program contribution. This is the part I think is redundant. Okay, because
it's only 1,000.
Well, no, because if you're filling out the whole form, it's because you want to establish the account. Okay. Pilot program contribution election. For a child to qualify to receive the $1,000 pilot program contribution to their Trump account, the child must have been born between 2025 and 2028, must be a qualifying child of the individual opening the Trump account, must be a U.S. citizen, and must have a valid Social Security number. See instructions. I understand why they put this in, because people are people. Sometimes they don't have any common sense.
And they make mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. So line 7 under Part 3. check box if child qualifies for, and you want to open, and you want the child to receive a pilot program contribution, and you just check the box.
Maybe there's an autofill if you do it online.
Probably. Yeah, it propagates.
We're talking to Jose Matos. He didn't leave the studio after doing his Money Matters program, but if you'd like to contact him, you can get a hold of him over at Advanced Financial Group.
Yep.
Want to give the phone number?
Sure. 508-678-3715.
Okay. Now, subsequent to what you just read, you have something else on your phone.
I do. I actually have two things. One that was written by a Megan Cerullo and edited by Elaine Scherter. And then I also have, which I'm not going to go over today because we'd be here all afternoon, I also have the information directly from the IRS guidelines. Okay? So if you want to know more.
Should we believe her or, in this particular case, the IRS?
I go to the IRS if you want me to do that instead.
I mean, well, in this particular case, I think we go to the IRS because this is something new. They would have the information, I would think, in their own plain English compared to what somebody else might say and put a slant on it.
Okay. So we're going to go to the IRS site.
Yep.
Okay. Treasury IRS issue guidance on Trump accounts established under the Working Families Tax Cuts. Notice announces upcoming regulations. So this was IR-2025-117 put together on December 2nd of 2025. From Washington, the Department of the Treasury and the Internal Revenue Service today issued a notice announcing upcoming regulations and providing guidance regarding Trump accounts, which are a new type of individual retirement account, IRA, for eligible children. Notice 2025-68 provides a general overview of how Trump accounts work and addresses certain initial questions about creating initial and rollover Trump accounts, the $1,000 pilot program contribution, other contributions, including qualified general contributions, and Section 128 employer contributions, eligible investments, distributions, reporting, and coordination with the rules applicable to other types of IRAs. The Working Families Tax Cuts provides for establishing a Trump account on behalf of every eligible child for whom an election is made, generally by a parent or guardian, and who has not turned age 18 before the end of the calendar year in which the election is made. Well, this kind of tells me that if you were born between those ages but didn't do it right away, you still might have time going forward, all the way up until you're 18, which I was not aware of. Again, I hadn't read this whole thing yet.
Yeah,
it's just a preliminary one.
The people that are eligible
right.
have to be born during that period,
Correct.
but you don't have to file the paperwork
Correct.
during that period.
That's what I just read. Yes. Contributions to Trump accounts cannot be made before July 4th of 2026, and that was the date that you brought up. Okay. Additionally, the federal government will make a one-time $1,000 pilot program contribution to the Trump account for each eligible child for whom an election is made who is a U.S. citizen and who was born on or after January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2028. Certain governmental agent entities and charities may also make qualified general contributions to Trump accounts if given to a qualified class of account beneficiaries. Other persons are also able to make contributions up to an aggregate limit of $5,000 per year.
Which means altogether, Jose and your clan wants to give to my kid that fits into that age group. Your clan can't give more than $5,000 altogether.
Supposedly,
in fact, nobody
so
else.
Right. So far.
Yes,
right.
So far.
$5,000 per year. Furthermore, an employer may contribute to a Trump account of the employee or the employee's dependent up to $2,500 per year, which counts against the $5,000 annual limit under the employer's Trump account contribution program, and the contribution will not count toward the employee's taxable income. The annual contribution limits are indexed to inflation and will adjust starting after 2027.
What does that mean?
That means that if Town Square Media decided that they wanted to make a contribution to your child, they could, and that number, it could be up to $2,500, but it would count against the $5,000 aggregate that everybody else can put in.
And what does it do to my pay?
It does nothing to your pay. It's not taxable to you.
What does it do for the employer? Is that a tax write-off?
I haven't found that yet, but it might be. It might be. Okay.
So I guess the basic question would be, what's the advantage to the employer? Maybe to help keep you on?
So let me make a comparison.
Okay.
And I haven't found that yet, but let me make a comparison. So small businesses can establish a simple IRA. It's a mini 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you have a mini 401k, simple, okay, the employee can make contributions into his own account. The employer has a mandated match. A regular 401k does not have a mandated match. They can do a match, but they don't have to. The simple does. The employer has to make a match. Okay. There are other small businesses that don't use a simple. They'll use a SEP. A SEP, the employer makes the contribution. The employee does not have to put any money into the SEP plan of where they're employed. The SEP amount is not taxable to the employee. So if they earned $50,000 and they put away, and the employer puts away $5,000 for them, they do not then have to show $55,000 on their tax return for the employee. But it is a tax deduction for the employer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's a great benefit because a lot of small companies don't have retirement plans, and if you are able to do this for your employees, it's a good way to keep good employees in and attract good employees to come in.
Are there any downsides to that?
Yeah, the employer has to make that contribution.
Well, but the employer would have spent that $5,000 looking for the next employee and
right.
training that person.
Correct.
Okay.
And believe it or not, that's the account that I have for my employees. So they put nothing in, but I'd rather give it to my employees. And it's not a dollar for dollar tax savings. It's whatever tax bracket I am in that I am saving the tax of that amount that I put in. So if I put in $10,000, it's not $10,000 that I get to deduct on my own tax return. It's the equivalent of whatever tax bracket I'm in. Okay?
Gotcha.
But I'd still rather give it to my employees than give more to Uncle Sam.
Fair enough.
Where was I here? The funds in Trump accounts must be invested in certain mutual funds or exchange-traded funds that track the S&P or another index of primarily American equities. So you can't put it in the bank.
Well, you don't have control of that money, do you? Isn't there a custodian that's really watching over that money?
The owner, whoever set it up.
So, to be clear then, if it's the owner setting it up.
Yep. But the owner could say, I'm very conservative, I want to put it in a money market.
What I'm getting at is, who has control of the money?
I'm thinking, I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten a lot of other IRS guidance.
There's got to be some type of administrator.
This is all brand new.
Yeah.
This was only the beginning of this month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The administration would be the company that it's invested in. But the custodian, let's use that word, would be the parent or guardian of the child. So when I have clients that come in, because I also use fixed accounts, fixed annuities, let's say, okay, they're similar to a CD at the bank, except they're with an insurance company. So it's a guaranteed rate of return. It's a guaranteed account based on the claims paying ability of the company, okay? But I always try to talk clients out of establishing those fixed accounts for minor children. Because if the child goes in to take the money out, now this is separate from what I'm talking about, but an annuity works very similar to an IRA in that not the principal, but the gains. If you take it out pre 59 and a half, or even after 59 and a half, you're gonna pay the taxes on the gain, which would be equivalent to earning the interest at a bank. It's your gain.
Gotcha.
So you're going to pay taxes on that. But if you're under 59 and a half, you're also whacked for the 10% penalty as if it was a retirement account, even though it might not be. So if the child is a minor, why on earth would I want to put an account like that established for them and limit their gains? So usually I will recommend we're going to go into securities. We're going to go into stocks, investments, which have the potential for much higher gains over time.
Hold that thought. Jose Matos in studio. And you know what? We'll open up the phone lines if you'd like. 508-996-0500. I'm Brian. This is Freedom Fools on WBSM.
The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
This is WBSM.
You know, most people are not business owners, but just about everybody knows one. The dirty little secret is most owners don't qualify for a bank loan because they lack collateral. At legitimate business funders, owners can get up to $2 million in funding with no collateral, even with a low credit score. And they can get that funding in a couple of days. Find legitimate business funders online at legitimatebusinessfunders.com. Legitimatebusinessfunders.com.
Traveling for business or pleasure? Instead of booking online, first call Low Cost Air at 800-221-6085. With Low Cost Air, booking is your option, which means there's no obligation to purchase anything at all. Call Low Cost Air to compare. 800-221-6085. Low Cost Air, 800-221-6085. Low Cost Air is proud to sponsor Brian's Beat on the radio and online.
There's no better fool than the Freedom Fools. Now, back to Brian.
President Trump is withholding your food and he wants you to starve to death?
Welcome back to Freedom Fools. I'm Brian. Jose Matos in studio. We're talking about the Trump account, and there's a lot of information there, and I think it stands to reason with anything dealing with the government. Mm-hmm. There are all kinds of hoops and jumps, and you got to know this, and the right person has to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Probably, yes. And this is all preliminary because, again, this was just established and put out at the beginning of this month. We're halfway into the month. So there's going to be more information as we're going along. It won't be available until mid next year to actually establish, okay? So you're probably going to prepare your returns, and the form might be there, but I don't think that's ironed out yet either, because even the form is preliminary, okay? So there might be other things that are going to come into play.
But you're not going to prepare your return for 25 until the beginning of 26. In theory.
No. I mean, even if you went on extension for 25 to see if you can get this done within the same return, you only have until October 15th of this year.
Right.
Sorry, of next year.
Right.
Okay. So you'll prepare your return like you do normally. Then you might want to meet with your accountant in July if that's when you want to set it up already, or wait till the next tax year.
But
because your child was born.
I guess what I'm worried about is why would you? What's the rush to set it up if the money's not going to be physically in your account until July?
Right. There is no rush to have to do it. No.
Okay.
If it's going to be available, you can do it at any point in time after the fact.
But as far as your taxes are concerned.
No. Your taxes you get done anyway.
Okay.
You do your taxes. You don't need to wait because of that form, because of that $1,000. You do your taxes anyway. Okay.
I guess what I'm getting at is that money's not going to be in whomever's account in 2025. So
I don't know that yet. It could be, but I don't know that yet.
But how does it get there if the form isn't going to be ready until
July.
July.
So you fill it out in July. You go back to your accountant if that's going to be the availability. I don't know that yet, though. But if it is, you're going to go back to your accountant if you want to, have them fill it out. And who knows, by the end of the year, it could be. We don't know that yet. Again, this is still one of those things. It's very limited information as of yet. This is just to kind of let you know this is going to be available. This is what's going on. There's going to be more information, especially because this is so new.
So all this money, we only have a few minutes left, Jose.
Yep.
All this money that is going to go in, and it's going to be invested in a securities of some sort.
Yep. It's going to track the S&P.
Got to ask this question. What happens if the market takes a nosedive?
It has before, but it doesn't go to zero.
But it didn't have any of this money in it.
It doesn't go to zero. Okay?
Well, we've seen people have their 401ks pretty much reduced to a 201k. You know what I mean?
And you know what happens when it gets to a 201k? Unless you need all of it the next day, leave it alone because it'll go back to being a 401k. Okay? In 2008, which was the last big drop, the market didn't drop in 08. The market started to drop in October of 07 and didn't bottom out until March 9th of 09. That drop was 54% from peak to trough. The market still finished up 5.5% in 07. And when it popped on March 10th to December 31st of 09, it returned 26.5%. 37% of that 54 was January 1st of 08 to December 31st of 08. So when we look at a graph, we see if it's a blue and green, because this is a graph that I use in my office all the time. We see a blue year in 07, we see a blue year in 09, and we see a red year in 08. It took 5 years for your 201k to get back to your 401k. And it took another 5 years for it to double from the original number.
To an 801k?
To the original number.
Okay.
So if you had $100,000, it would have dropped to around 65, let's say. Okay? It then went back and got to the 100 at the 5th year. But at the 10th year from 08, it was at 209 when you started with 100.
So nobody went broke.
Unless you sold.
Unless you sold.
If you sold, then you took. And I tell this to clients all the way.
What about companies that went out of business?
But they don't all go out of business.
I said about the ones that do, though.
Well, the ones that do, then yeah, if you had invested in just that one, you would have lost your shirt.
Or
and
that
your
10
pants,
or
and
whatever.
your underpants.
Yeah.
And your, okay. But that's what diversification is about. It's not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Good point. But I think that's one of the reasons people might want to say, why should I trust somebody else investing that money when I can
try to do it yourself?
Try to do it yourself.
Sure. And you can change the oil in your own car, and you can pull your own tooth, and you can do your own operation too.
Change the oil, yes. Pull the tooth, no.
But you get my point.
Yes, I do. Jose, how do you want to wrap this up?
Well, thank you for the invite.
No problem.
Okay.
Always.
Thank you for the listeners. If anybody has any questions, they can call my office, same as I do when I'm doing my own program. You're under no obligation, but hopefully you'll walk out knowing more than when you walked in.
Well, here's what I know. I know that ice cream store is right next door to your place.
It is. And happy holidays to
you.
y'all listeners.
And, we'll follow up. If something breaks between now and July, I don't want to wait that long. I think there's a lot of mystery still to this whole Trump account.
There's a lot of mystery to just in general 401ks and IRAs and investments that a lot of people don't know.
Without a doubt. Jose Matos, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And happy holidays. We're going to take a quick one next hour. Tea party time. Yes, indeed. A tea party is coming.
Every great dream begins with a dreamer.
WBSM.
Traveling for business or pleasure? Instead of booking online, first call Low Cost Air at 800-221-6085. Let a real person compare prices and schedules before AI takes over. With Low Cost Air, booking is your option, which means there's no obligation to purchase anything at all. Call Low Cost Air to compare. 800-221-6085. Low Cost Air, 800-221-6085.
Freedom Pools on WBSM. Here's more with Brian Thomas.
We're going to lose this chance forever because you're never going to have another Trump.
Yeah, I don't know about never having another Trump. I certainly hope we don't, but you just never know. I don't think people ever thought that we would have a Trump. 37 in Fairhaven, 37 in Westport, 38 in New Bedford.